Madden football is the home of Super Bowl 57, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Texans and the Bears, and it's all up next.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. We count down the kickoff of what should be an epic one here as it'll be the AFC champion Houston Texans taking on the NFC champions, the Chicago Bears. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, what a run they've had this year in Houston. I mean, this is a team who nobody was expecting really anything out of. They're coming off back-to-back 4-win seasons, but something clicked, and here they are as AFC champs.
And we always recognize Houston as a city that's hosted Super Bowls, 3 of them, in fact. But neither the Texans nor the Oilers ever played in the big game. So what an exciting time for their fan base.
Meanwhile, it has been a roller coaster ride in Chicago the last few years. They've been up, they've been down, they've had double doinks, but now the Bears are back looking for what would be just their second Super Bowl title.
Now, we do know that the Bears had plenty of success pre-Super Bowl because they won 8 NFL titles to be exact. But as you just mentioned, looking for their second Super Bowl win, they did have another appearance in the big game. That was one that they lost to Peyton Manning and the Colts in Super Bowl 41. The win prior, Super Bowl 20, a huge blowout against the Patriots.
The hype and the talk is over. We're set for the big one. Super Bowl 57. Away we go from Arizona. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it out past the 30. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the second-year man from The Ohio State University, Justin Fields.
And this is the moment the Bears organization dreamt of when they traded up to select Fields in the 2021 draft. One of the league's oldest teams, this franchise has just one Super Bowl championship on its ledger. Led by the electric Fields, they're on the verge of another.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Fields going to throw on the first play. Caught here, and right away he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. Loose inside the 30, inside the 10. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. Striking first in any game is very important, but on this stage, the biggest of stages in the Super Bowl, that's huge.
You fully expect the other team to battle all the way through, but when you're the one setting the pace, jumping out in front, that has to feel great for the entire organization.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. To throw is Fields. This one swung out to Montgomery.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a 1st down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now it's Fields. They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equanimeous St. Brown. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. But Charles, as we've covered, they've already clinched their spot in the postseason, so now they just want to avoid adding any additional names to this list before the postseason begins.
Terrific observation because trying to move up a spot, I don't know if it's worth it if you're trying to play guys who aren't quite right. Get them healthy, get ready for the playoffs, make your move then.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. On 4th down, Matt Araiza sent on to punt. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading them out in his 2nd season now out of Stanford. Here's Davis Mills.
Looked like Houston's rebuild still had some time left on it. Instead, Davis Mills helped speed things up considerably and prove this team was better than most of us thought. He has certainly earned the right to be leading them out in the franchise's first Super Bowl.
Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. You look at this Super Bowl, the 2nd appearance for this head coach. The first one did not go as planned, as we all know. But what do you think he's learned from that first go-around?
He learned how much it hurts to lose, and that's what you hear from coaches so often. They don't remember the wins as much as they remember the losses. You can talk about the media, the scrutiny, the hoopla, but once you've had to shake a head coach's hand and jog off the field and know you have to face the media, face your fans, face your home life, knowing that you've lost the Super Bowl, that hurts big time, and you're going to do everything possible to try to prevent that from happening again.
Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They run over center with Peterson. And this will be a Texans first down as the tackle made it about the 43-yard line.
That run is what defenses don't like about dealing with Adrian Peterson. His ability to drop his shoulder and run through contact.
And he's amazing at keeping those strong legs going, isn't he?
For him, no run is ever truly over. I mean, he's actually not even convinced that when they blow the whistle, he's actually down. That's how he finishes runs in a big way.
They run again on first down, Peterson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They run again with Peterson. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll run it. Here's Peterson. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation we were talking about with one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. On second down, Peterson. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Down at the 25.
Holding offense.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab it. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Second down, Peterson again. Oh, he bowls over it. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 1 quarter done and 3 more to play here in Super Bowl 57. 7-0 is our score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we are back and ready to go for the second quarter of the Super Bowl. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis, as always, thrilled to be with you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. A 10th carry now for Peterson. Trucks over it and stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 65 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
Peterson will take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the first and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is, I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now 14-0. That one was an extended drive. 14 plays all told. And it's capped off by a touchdown run by Adrian Peterson. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. They'll try the middle with Montgomery. 14 yards in a Chicago first down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Fields on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it off, and the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. The give to Peterson out of the gun. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
Dominique Robinson, the one who got in there to drop it. That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this size of a deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction, and that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them, and now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
First down, here's the run with Peterson. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. And the last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Newton now to throw.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'm guaranteed he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
The Texans on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Up the middle, it's Peterson. And he's going to be marked down short of the first down, right around the 17. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. From the left hash, this from 34. Fairbairn able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Chicago offense set to get started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. No, but let me finish. You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Fields under pressure. They got him again. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards. A 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. From his goal line here, Fields.
He finds his man, complete. It's Griffin. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd.
Here's Matt Araiza now. Here's Smith to return it.
It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10.
Adrian Peterson now getting ready to go again on offense. He's in his zone, second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard gain.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. On fourth down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. We have reached the 2-minute warning. In fact, just under 2 minutes to play in the opening half of this year's Super Bowl. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. To Montgomery to begin the drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. To throw once more on second and 10. Fields under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball in his hands a lot quicker.
Fields going to keep it once more. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. A solid chunk of 11 yards there on the keeper. But fourth down now.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for the Texans in that first half. And you'll see they've had success running the football, and that bodes well for their chances of lifting that Lombardi trophy. Both teams with some extra time to prepare during this long halftime break, but we're about ready to restart the second half of Super Bowl 57. So let's get back out to Arizona and Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This taken in at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. And the Texans getting ready to go here to begin the third quarter. And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue with that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. 49ers had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter, couldn't hold on. So plenty can still happen.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 94 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the third quarter.
How about the yardage? He was screaming worthy adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball. Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just have to find a way to tackle someone.
They run with Peterson. He's been busy tonight. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Carry number 20 now for Peterson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's where this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Newton's throw complete here, pulled in by Howard. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Now Newton. And that will be incomplete.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10.
At their 25-yard line.
He'll begin by dropping it off to Montgomery.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. Right side, Claypool's got it.
Finishes another juke.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice post down. Clock keeps moving.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage. And
he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Going up the gut, Montgomery. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
From the 50, here's Fields.
Buying time to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and that will keep the deficit at 20.
And this is a commentary on today's kickers and just how good they are that a coach would think about running his guy out there to try a 59-yarder. Here it backfires on him, but as a kicker, you have to appreciate the confidence that they showed in you.
And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. To throw is Newton. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
They'll try the middle with Peterson. 106 yards on the ground for him so far.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
Second down, Peterson again. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
At their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Cam Newton from 17 yards out. And the Texans are starting to open things up here in the Super Bowl. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it. Pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost. So.
It does test the mental processes of the team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep this confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to a stretch, and guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
Fields throw complete here to Kmet. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. 15 yards last play and 15 yards here this go-around. Just one more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy. And we're back in the Super Bowl. Time to decide who gets to hoist that Lombardi Trophy as we begin the 4th and final quarter of action. Now a first down throw. Fields. Completion here to Claypool. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Now on 2nd and 16. Fields. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
He lost 2, and it brings up 4.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one by the line.
Touchdown, Bears! Dante Pettis from 19 yards away. And the Bears are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead down to 20. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. From his end zone, here's Tremon Smith. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. And our focus now moves to Adrian Peterson. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Here's Cameron Johnston now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi Trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not matched the results as they start on this drive, 1st and 10. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time looked well for a solid gain.
His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down. Fields now to throw. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 42-yard line. Here's Fields. A full left side taken in by Kmet. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Now this likely a must-have, 3rd and goal. Back to throw, Fields. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Dante Pettis, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Bears have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Santos with the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. So this drive spans 7 plays. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. Again, Peterson. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Handoff comes to Peterson. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Now a timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's again to Peterson. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. 3rd down, it's Adrian Peterson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 143 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's going to run them into submission.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
10 more there and another 1st down. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and minicamps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Adrian Peterson. His 2nd touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Texans are feeling good as they extend their lead in this Super Bowl. I suppose it wasn't out of the realm of possibility that we could have seen a comeback, but that touchdown should put any hopes of a comeback out of reach. It's been a really quality effort for him here in this one.
And no matter what else you think, you have to admire the initiative to finish things off their way. Don't leave anything to chance, no matter how small the odds of a comeback were. Send it home with a touchdown and get to celebrating.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Chicago offense set to get started. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Now, you don't want to see that penalty at any point, but it adds a little extra to it when it comes on 3rd down.
It certainly does, because if this were a boxing match, they had him on the ropes there. 3rd down incompletion, 4th down upcoming. Instead, that mistake resets everything back to 1st down, which means they have to stay on the field longer to try and stop this drive.
And the Lone Star State has a new champion. It's the Houston Texans, kings of the Super Bowl. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.